Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Charting Markets with Jeremy. So for today, let's take a look at the Straits Times Index. After having seen a sharp rally in price over the past few weeks, it does look like we are trading pretty close to a key resistance, and probably at the same time, we could be slipping into a correction phase real soon. So here on the chart right now, we are looking at the STI on the weekly time frame chart. So starting off again with a longer term view. So key thing to note over here, at least from the longer term chart over here, is following this sharp rally over the past 1.5 months. In fact, year to date, the STI is up about close to 9%. It's also with this rally that we have seen that has actually led to this overstretched market right now, at least looking at the relative strength index. So what I mean by that is you can see over here the weekly time frame, the RSI has actually entered into the overbought level just this week, which means we could be looking at some pullback playing out real soon as the market looks to take profit. And another key point is if I were to zoom out, we are trading right smack at the key resistance level, which is the high that was set back in 2019. Around the 3,400 points level. So to be specific, the high was actually at 3,415 points. So those two factors right now, with us being overbought and trading real close to this critical resistance at 3,415 points, there's actually a very high likelihood of us actually turning back into a correction phase in the near term. And if I were to kind of move on to the daily time frame, I think this view is even more apparent. So similar kind of a setup playing through here on the daily time frame. You can see here the daily RSI is actually even more overbought, with the RSI actually hitting an extreme high of around 78 just yesterday. And despite kind of seeing this rally going on strong without any exhaustion or even bearish price action yet, this overbought signaling is a bit of a concern, because if I were to zoom out again, the RSI signaling overbought condition tends to actually lead into some form of a pullback and correction to the STI, looking back at the historical price action. So you can see since 2020, we have actually seen 4 of such examples here, where the overbought RSI actually signaled some form of a correction as well as a pullback in price for the STI. So on average, you can see the correction phase is around a range of 4% to 7%. And right now with us again in the overbought territory for the RSI, it does look like we could be looking at some pullback in a similar range of 4 to 7% playing out real soon. And if I were to zoom out again, you can see with us currently trading at this key overhead resistance at 3,415 points, there's a very high likelihood that this would be the near-term cap for the STI, which would then eventually kickstart a next leg lower here in terms of a correction, probably playing out over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So all in all, I think we still need to see some form of a slowdown in this bullish momentum, followed by some bearish price action to kickstart the next leg lower. But nonetheless, the general trend over here from a longer term perspective is still showing a rather strong uptrend. So what would be good is for this leg lower, I think that would present investors, trader buying opportunities. And for this pullback, I think we would expect the STI to fall down to the support level of around 3,250 to around the 3,200 levels, which is also in between the 60-day moving average. So downside-wise, I think we are expecting a similar range of around 4 to 6% downside here in the near term. And then after which, probably the STI will find some buying pressure around this level of 3,200 to 3,250 area. Followed by a rebound back up into the uptrend. And do note that for the next leg higher, I think the STI will likely once again search out for a new 52 weeks high. And the upside target following us breaking above 3,400 will likely see the STI target around 3,500 range to probably even the 3,600 range, where the 3,600 level is actually a more obvious resistance here. That was the high back in 2018. So longer term target that we have for the STI is probably somewhere near 3,600. However, to summarize, in the near term, probably over the next 2 to 3 weeks, we expect this overhead ceiling at 3415 points to actually cap the upside and then lead to some form of a pullback down to 3250 to 3200 before we see the uptrend actually resuming. Yeah, so that is all we have for today, and we'll see you guys in the next one.